Hey fellow guitar geeks, this is Doug White. I'm just sitting here wanting to give you guys a run through my pedal board about how I set it up, why I set it up that way. This over here is a guitar I play through. It's a PV JF1EX, semi-hollow body. Pretty good sounding guitar, I like it a lot, plays real nice. On the right side you'll notice I have my wah and my compression sustainer sitting on the ground over there. The reason for that was because this is a Pedal Train 1 pedal board, and it comes with the case right over there, which fits inside of an airplane overhead compartment. And because of all the traveling I do, that's real nice to be able to not have to entrust all this gear to the luggage packers underneath the airport and so on. It's a real scary thought. So to get started on what I got going on here, I like to start my line off right into my wah pedal. It gives it the smoothest pan from low to high. If you put it after any effects, it can kind of get a little whiny in the top end, and also you don't get that smooth flow from low to high. So that's why I put that there. Past that, I got my compression sustainer, which is actually the only pedal that's not mine. It belongs to a friend of mine. He lets me borrow it for a while. But that, it compresses the whole sound and it sustains it as well. So everything kind of comes out the same volume in a way, and single notes last a lot longer. It's really good for especially some background playing or things like that. I go straight from there into my volume pedal, which is an Ernie Ball. It's the full size pedal, not the junior, and it works real nice. From there, I go through the tuner out to my Boss TU2, which, as you can see, I have it set on stream, not sent. It gives it a little bit more of an accurate reading, so I like that. And I can also tune while I'm in the middle of a song, even just pulling down, or if I'm using my slide to make sure I'm on the right note. That's real nice. So then from my volume pedal standard out, I go over to my noise suppressor. The reason I use a noise suppressor, not a noise gate, is because this is actually more flexible. Instead of a straight cutoff, it gives a fade out, which is real nice. And you can adjust how fast it fades out, or you can even use it as a mute switch if you wanted. It's pretty flexible as to what you can do there. Then for my noise suppressor, I go over here to my Hardwire tube overdrive. This is actually the newest pedal on my whole board. I just got it a couple months ago, and I'm pretty happy with it. It gives a really warm tube sound. It has two settings on there for classic and modified, which modified gives it a little more gain. So it's real nice. I like that a lot. Go from the tube overdrive then down to my centerpiece here, the Damage Control Demonizer, which was actually a gift from a real good friend of mine. It's a very, very nice pedal. As you can see, it has two vacuum tubes on either side, and those light up depending on if it's on, off, or you'll have that high overdrive mode on there. So you got two distortions on there, and then I can also layer that with my overdrive there as well, depending on what I'm trying to go for. So then from that, I go back to my noise suppressor. So then if I have, a heavy distortion on it, doesn't give any ambient buzz when I'm not playing. Then from there, I start going into my modulation, my chorus ensemble, which I use mainly for ambient noises, fill sounds. Especially if there's not a keyboard, it can really help. But I don't use it all that much, but it can be handy in a pinch. Then from the chorus, I go down to my Boss DD20, which was also a gift from another good friend of mine. And it's got a pretty good amount of stuff it can do. It's pretty impressive. It has memory bank, so you can just do a tap tempo. It has like 8 or 10 different kinds of delay on it, different delay patterns, all sorts of crazy stuff it does, and it's one of the higher end on the market. I like it a lot. And from there, I go up to my digital reverb, which is real cool. It has multiple different reverb settings on it that you can use, and it sounds pretty good, but mainly for slower stuff or ambient noises, kind of like the chorus, but yeah, it gives a real cool hall sound. And then the last of my line is my loop station. I use that for mainly practicing when I'm alone and so on. It's pretty beastly. It has a drum machine built in, multiple different time signatures, and even multiple different drum beats that it does. It has tap tempo, or it does senses your tempo. It has 11 memory slots, volume for tap tempo, all this. It's a real cool machine. I use it a lot when I'm just playing by myself. So that's my pedal board. That's how I do it. And then right over there, that's my case. It works real nice. Everything just sits right inside of there. And these two pedals on the side just sit down right at the bottom of the board. It all works out real nice. So if you guys have any questions, please just leave a comment. Be happy to answer. Or yeah. So that's what I do. That's how I do it. Oh, I almost forgot. Underneath actually is probably the harder part as well. The power is, because there's 3 different power supplies. I have a dedicated power supply for my demonizer. Then I have a DC brick that powers 7 of these things. It powers my wah and my compression sustainer, my tuner, my overdrive, my chorus, my digital reverb, and my loop station. And then I have a dedicated power supply for my noise suppressor, which then I daisy chain off of that down to my DD20. And that's how everything's powered. I would like to do it all off of one, but this bad boy just sucks a lot of energy. But it's an awesome pedal, so it's worth it. So that's everything. That's my setup, and I run out of that into a 212 100 watt line 6 modeled amplifier. So yeah, again, if you have any questions, please leave a comment, and I'm happy to have any kind of conversations. Thanks, y'all. Peace.